Hi there, my name is Daisy Nyaga and I want to welcome you to today's session of the Fallback Plan Conversations. Today we are privileged to have a wonderful gentleman by the name of Mr. Gaurang Chavda, who is the distribution manager at Sanlam Investments East Africa. Sanlam Investments East Africa is currently managing assets worth 300 billion Kenya shillings. Is that right, Mr. Gaurang?
Yes, it is.
And in today's session, we are going to learn about financial planning. And he's the best placed person to take us through that journey. So, karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Daisy, for having me. I'd like to start off with a quick comment by a very wise leader, which was, sometimes it's all about simple living and high thinking. What do I mean by high thinking at the end of the day? It's about creating a financial backbone to our lives. You know, tomorrow we may never know what would be coming out of the door, or we never know it could be a rainy day. So what is this rainy day that I speak about, and what is this financial backbone all about? It's always about having a backup plan ahead of you. And more important, what we realize in East Africa is we've got statistics that say that over 85% of people in East Africa tend to spend more than what they can earn. And that's where we start getting wrong.
85 is quite a high number.
And it is, and what we realize is 85% of people who end up spending more is because they're not aware of such risks that would come on later. And that is why when we talk about financial planning, Daisy, we are always enlightening people that, hey guys, you know what, let us start planning for your future today.
Exactly.
So that when you wake up tomorrow, if something were to come and hit you at the back, you can still stand strong.
Exactly.
And that's what financial planning is all about.
Awesome. Great. So, Mr. Gaurang, please tell us, what is all this financial planning all about? Please demystify that for us.
I think what we normally have to start by is, I have to say that financial planning is no rocket science at the end of the day. There is no very vast formula. At the end of the day, financial planning is just a set of discipline and principles whereby we as individuals have to create them.
Okay.
Where do you start? So you have to start finding out what are your goals.
Great.
All right. So what are goals of someone who is currently working? You might just say, all right, I want to get married, maybe I have a child I want to send to education, or at the end of the day, like you discussed in your fallbacks, that you always have to have some money as a lying behind for a rainy day.
Yes.
And so we start off there. We're saying, all right, this is your goal. All right. Is it going to cost you 1 million shillings, 2 million shillings to maybe get married, to save for your education, or you just want to have that much amount available to you? So once you've created this goal in your head that I need to get there, we start currently assessing what's your current situation. All right, how much do you have currently? Start looking at your bank accounts. Start filtering what exactly do you have. Maybe you have 100,000 and you want to get to 2 million. Perfect. You know how much your deficit is. We start gathering data. All right, how do I need to get there? What do I need to get there? Now, once you're working with the figure of 40,000 net, you need to come and say, all right, I am looking to save, to get to my 2 million mark in maybe 2 or 3 years timeline, I am going to save at least 20% of my salary every month. 20%. So there is no right or wrong answer of how much you need to save. But like I mentioned to you, it is no rocket science, but you need to have a discipline. Saying I need to put aside 10% or 20% of my salary to cater for this specific goal that I have created. And Daisy, when I say that we need to save X amount, I do not mean that we need to put this 10% of my money under the pillow, under the mattress, or hang on, it's Friday, I save 10%, I go burn this on Yamachoma, on booze. No. This 20% has to be catered towards an investment.
Great.
And that is where the implementation has to come from.
So, Mr. Gaurang, you have told us what a financial plan is. So please take us through, demystify it. How do I implement the financial plan? Where do I start? What does it all entail?
I think perfect place to start off is, you'd like to say humans are very creative and sharp when it comes to planning. I have to own it. But the area that we really lack focus is when it comes to execution. We've made a brilliant plan to start off the whole year. But when we really need to go do this, when we start raising our hands and saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And that's why you clearly pointed out at the start that we say financial planning doesn't start tomorrow. It starts today.
It starts today.
It starts today. So like just going back to what I previously mentioned, that financial planning, where do I take this 10% or 20% of my salary, more importantly? What can I do with it?
Great. So on the implementation, we are not very good. Most people actually not very good in implementation. They set out their goals, but 3 months down the line, most have actually fallen off. So what would you advise us to do to be able to keep on track?
Perfect. And how you
Towards
can
achieving
better
our
summarize
goal.
your goals is by remembering the acronym called SMART. What SMART really does is you have to create a goal that's where the by S stands for specific. So we identified your specific reason. You wanted it for a rainy day in case something happens tomorrow. The M, measurable. How much do you need? And then we said the A falls for attain. Can you really attain this target? And it has to be a realistic. And more importantly, the T part of SMART is it's a timely. So you've put a time, like we mentioned to you, we said within 2 years, I need to get there.
Like 2 million.
Exactly. Perfect example. So your goals have to be SMART. Once you've done this up, now is where we can decide on where can I go invest this money.
Great. So thank you very much, Mr. Garang. That was a great session that we have had. And as you've all heard, financial planning is about planning your tomorrow today. It's about planning your future starting now. You do not have to wait until things are thick for you or until there are crises on your front, on your left, on your right to start planning your money. So today we've learned about SMART goals. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable, what it is that you want to achieve. They also need to be attainable. They need to be realistic. If you're earning 20,000 Kenya shilling, please don't set a very magnanimous goal, but start with the smaller goals that are realistic. And finally, your goals need to be time-bound. In what time do you need to achieve that? So ladies and gentlemen, we've also learned that financial planning is all about discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Whatever you have set out to achieve, whatever you've set out to save, please maintain that and do it regardless of the situation. Thank you very much. Remember that sharing is caring. Share this video and subscribe to my channel. Shukran.